little weird. I'm shooting this video, and the biggest reason is because, well, what I'm going to show you is right there, and my knees hurt because I am old and have bad knees. What I'm going to show you now is the finished product of, honestly, a lot of planning and a lot of changing. I almost had this thing built completely. I was about probably 95%, and then I changed 1000% how I was going to do that. Without further ado, the grand reveal of what I've been spending all this time on. Since I don't have room for a network equipment rack, I made a network equipment board. This is just a piece of wood that I got. The size doesn't matter. I just got a size that would fit my purpose. And all this is 3D printed. It's called multi-board. Guy invented it. Links all of the stuff's in the description below. Works, just like any other, like a pegboard or any other type of organization system. And I have all of my network stuff on here. And yes, some of the cables are kind of screwy right now because I don't have proper length cables to make it look 100% pretty just yet, but we're getting there. So in this board, this opening, right behind the opening is actually our shower. And this cover usually goes over this opening. There's really nothing behind it. It's just an access panel for getting to some of the electronics and stuff like that in the RV. So I've been housing all of my network gear in here for quite a while now. You can see the command strips in the back was, I guess, attempt number one at kind of organizing it. And it worked okay. Sometimes you had a big bump. The command strips didn't want to stick very well to the back of the shower or whatever, and things would fall off. That's not the case anymore. With this board, it'll just slide up in there. No need to mount it to anything. It'll be just fine as it is. So that connector back here, I can unplug it and I can plug it in somewhere else. I made a little dongle with this same connector on it with a cigarette lighter adapter on the other end, so I can plug it into a cigarette lighter or whatever. So let's take a quick tour, starting from the bottom corner and working our way up here. Now the overall goal before we get to that of this whole thing was to convert everything to 12 volts, since we're in the RV here. And that means we have to use the inverter less. And, we get a little bit more efficiency by just going straight 12 volts. We do going 12 volts through the inverter to go to 120 and then convert it back down to 12 or 5 volts. Because everything here runs natively on either 5 or 12 volts. Again, here is our main power distribution with our incoming power, outgoing power to our different things. Then we have this right here. This is a 12 volt to 5 volt converter because we do have a few things that run on 5 volts. And then this will run down to a distribution block. And right now I have two things that use 5 volts. So yes, this is complete overkill right there. So I can run a lot more 12 volt things in the future. The two things I have that do use 12 volts are my TP-Link switch and my USB. Right next to I have two NVMe SSDs. These were honestly, these were the original hard drives that came in these two mini computers, and I just repurposed them here so they could be used as external hard drives. We've talked about those in previous videos, talking about Proxmox, etc. Now right here is my main Proxmox server, PVE1, which is a TrigKey G5. And as you can see, everything kind of plugs in at the bottom down here, working like a champ. I went with this one because I wanted one that had two Ethernet ports, so I can go to my LAN side and to my wide area network side. This was the original one I had, which is a TrigKey N4. Pretty good, but it didn't have the two ports. It just had one Ethernet port. So I wanted, again, like I said, to have the two. Now, right now, this isn't hooked up to anything but power, but we're going to make this our secondary Proxmox server, and it's also going to run our backups. And right up here is a external hard drive I've had forever that I'm going to be using as my main backup drive. So why do I have 1, 2, 3 external hard drives? Well, I had them laying around, so I might as well plug them in, right, and use them for something. If you want more information on what I use Proxmox for and all that stuff, there's videos on that on my channel. This little blue box right here, which isn't hooked up yet, that helps to control all the stuff in the RV through the spider control system, like the lights, the awning, the water pump. Then we got up here is my TP-Link router. Now, right now, this router is just in access point mode, so it's just using the Wi-Fi, and that little box right behind it, which is not even on the multi-board, is my Blink sync module. So my Blink cameras and doorbell can connect to the internet. And I put it way up there because it's something that I can't really do anything with. And it's just plugged into the router for power. So I put it up there just to kind of get it out of the way, because once I put this whole thing into the cabinet, this part up here where the antennas are and stuff will be kind of hidden and not seen. So I wanted to put that out of the way and then leave more room down here. Now I do have one more thing I'm going to put in. Right here, I have built or 3D printed rather, a box that'll plug in that holds some extra Ethernet cables, USB cables, and a USB to HDMI converter. So if I ever needed to go directly into one of these boxes because I couldn't SSH in or remote in, then I could do that right here. Now, I've had those cables forever. They're just always in my bedroom in a drawer. Might as well put them where I'm going to use them the most, which is right here. Sorry for my fingers keep swapping by the camera, but I'm trying to change hands. So this is everything. Now down here, this switch, let's talk a little bit more about how I'm using this switch. Right now, this is my cable to my Starlink system. And this other cable here is to my Calyx T-Mobile hotspot. And of course, the red cable here goes up to connect the switch to my main Proxmox server, which also houses my router using OpenWRT. And I have two separate VLANs down here. So VLAN 10 is for my Starlink, and VLAN 20 is for my Calyx / T-Mobile. I have another connection using my visible phone, but that's through the USB. So that's one of these connections. Now, why did this take so long? Well, I changed my mind about how I was going to do this. I was originally just going to nail everything in that could, and I'd already made baskets and boxes with nail holes in them to put in for all these other devices you see here in orange. Then I decided, well, actually I didn't decide. I came across the multi-board system by accident on one of the 3D printing websites, and I like, man, that's a great idea. I want to use that. And honestly, we're going to be using this in a lot of other things here in the RV, so stay tuned for seeing that. It's going to be pretty cool what we do with the multi-board system and how it helps us maximize space in the RV. And here it is installed. And the board's just sitting in there. Yeah, I know there's a cable running there. I got to finish doing the Starlink correctly. And then we'll just put this right here. There. And I want you to check out the board system. Again, link in the description below. Let me know what you think of this, and let me know if you've got any better ideas. Again, don't criticize me on my cable management. I need to get properly sized cables first. I do have Ethernet connectors to make better Ethernet cables, but I couldn't find my crimper, so I'm looking for that. I'll just go buy another one if I have to. So in the meantime, this is it. Subscribe, share this video, and leave us a comment letting you know what you think. So thanks for watching, everybody.